My name is Dunnits, I do builds and stuff. I've got an absolutely incredible solar warlock build for you today that will go absolutely massive in the Edge of Fate. I am talking about Chill Clip and Icebreaker. This build I did not so long back was already pretty good, but with the Icebreaker and weapons with Chill Clip, this build is just going to get enhanced big time in the Edge of Fate. Like I said, I did this build like last season, I think it was, so it's a bit of a remake, but it's going to be extremely strong in Edge of Fate. I'm going to tell you everything that we've got going on. Extra damage to stasis debuff targets, free ammo, free ignitions, and absolute carnage. We're going to get Radiant Shrapnel and some seasonal artifact perks that really buff this build out. Like I said, it already was incredible. But we'll start off with the Icebreaker. Final blows or assists with any other weapon or ability have a chance to create ammo for Icebreaker. Defeating powerful combatants will create multiple rounds. So you basically get free ammo on ability kills, weapon kills, etc. Now my throat went a bit funny then. I am suffering with a bad throat at the moment, so I apologise for that. But Icebreaker, again, the perk on there, defeating a target with weapon causes them to explode. Precision final blows or shattering the frozen target instead triggers an ignition. Now, obviously that, get a headshot, you're going to cause an ignition. A body shot causes an explosion. And you also get an ignition against a frozen target or a stasis crystal. So pretty much free ignitions. And then on top of that, the catalyst is absolutely insane. Landing a hit on a slurred or frozen target has a chance to return a ram to the magazine. It says a chance, but it's literally like 95% of the time. This is what Icebreaker does. Get your headshot, you're going to cause ignitions, which we're going to take advantage of with an exotic as well, which we'll go into in a moment. But just for now, ignitions from headshots and frozen targets. Now, this is where the build sort of starts to go very interesting because we've got Unstoppable Sniper next season. This is going to cause unstoppable capabilities. We've also got Cauterized Darkness, really, really important one. This one is absolutely massive. Stasis or Strand debuffed non-boss combatants take increased damage from all solar sources. So if you, for example, slow something with your stasis abilities or Chill Clip, which we'll go into in a moment, you're going to get extra damage with solar weapons, i.e. Icebreaker and all your solar abilities. We've also got Elemental Daze. Stunning a champion with an elemental weapon creates an elementally aligned explosion. Now, Cauterized Darkness is going to be huge, but the bottom one could also be massive Elemental Daze. So basically, whenever you stun a champion with an elemental weapon, i.e. the Icebreaker, will be Overload. It's going to create a matching elemental debuff to them and nearby targets, i.e. ignitions. So we'll basically, if you remember Revitalizing Blast, we might be able to trigger infinite ignitions with Icebreaker. But just for now, we're going to focus on the Cauterized Darkness, a stasis debuff target, which we could do very easily with weapons and abilities. The two weapons that spring to mind, Tinash's Mastery with Chill Clip, direct hits with the top half of the magazine, slows and freezes targets. You've also got the Rake Angle, a glaive, an exceptional glaive. Pair that up with your Icebreaker perk, and you've literally got infinite ammo, especially when you pair it up with the Catalyst. So you're basically getting all of that extra damage from the Cauterized Darkness. We don't know how much that's going to be, but even if it's like a 10% damage increase, it's going to be massive. So a quick roundup. So basically, use your Tinash's Mastery or your Rake Angle for Chill Clip. You're going to freeze them. You're going to get that free ammo back, which you'll see on that bottom left happening all of the time. You're going to be able to create that Elemental Daze explosion as well with Icebreaker. It's just going to be absolutely naughty next season. Like I said, this build was already pretty good when I ran it without really a stasis and solar sort of season. It was at the time. It was no solar, but it just absolutely shredded in GMs and stuff like that. I've just got one more clip of the Icebreaker causing the ignition and getting the ammo back from a frozen target via your Chill Clip. There is some other seasonal artifact perks which will even more boost this build out or this sort of setup. Radiant, Shrapnel and Fever and Chill. Fever and Chill, rapid precision hits with solar weapons grant Radiant. Rapid precision hits with stasis weapons grant Frost Armor. So if you pair it up, you might be able to get Frost Armor and Radiant at exactly the same time with things like Tinash's and Icebreaker. And then you've got Radiant Shrapnel, Dealing sustained damage while radiant or defeating a scorched target creates solar projectiles that deal damage and scorch on impact. Could be crazy. Dawn Chorus is the exotic of choice. This is going to enhance your scorch. Look at the state of this scorch from your icebreaker. All of them yellow numbers, they're just a 200% extra damage on your scorch numbers, which is absolutely massive. Obviously, pair that up with Ember of Ashes, which we'll go into in a moment. But a few clips of the Dawn Chorus. There is other options as well. You could even go Starfire Protocol, which I did a build not so long back. You could even pair Starfire up with Tenacious as well, which could also be absolutely insane. But I really love Dawn Chorus just for that free scorch damage. It's absolutely huge. You can run Song of Flame or something like that, but I really like Well of Radiance with Ember of Combustion. Final Blows with Solar Super causes targets to ignite whenever you stood inside of your Well of Radiance. Any solar weapon will act like a solar weapon kill, so you're going to spread ignitions left, right and centre. Add that to your Icebreaker and your Tenacious, even other solar weapons, and you can just turn the Well of Radiance into an ad clearing super. With all the other stuff you've seen going on as well, you obviously get Radiance or your 25% extra damage when you're in your Well of Radiance as well, so it's absolutely huge. In a moment, I'll go over the sort of fragments that you need to enhance your Scorch and Ignitions. For now, I haven't really built into next season's stat armor, but we will take a look at it in a moment on what I think you should probably build into. But obviously, I mentioned we're running Dawn Chorus to increase your Scorch effects. To increase your Ignitions and your Scorch also, you want to be running Ember of Char. Your Solar Ignition spreads Scorch to affected targets. Ember of Eruptions to make your Solar Ignitions have an increased area of effect. And then finally, Ember of Ashes, that applies more Scorch to targets. That paired up with your Dawn Chorus is just an absolute joke. And as we know in Edge of Fate, like all of our sort of keywords are getting changed. Now, mobility is weapons, but weapons, if you can build into weapons stat armor, you're going to get some really big bonuses for your weapons. So probably want to be running a moderately high mobility sort of setup for this. Like 1 to 100, it's going to improve your weapon reload. Handling speeds improves damage versus minor and mages. But when you get to the 200 sort of marker, you're going to get a chance for ammo bricks, improved damage versus bosses, combatants and guardians, and up to 15% extra damage, which is going to be crazy. So you can either pair that up nicely with like a grenade build or a strength build or a melee build, something like that. But just having extra damage on your Icebreaker with all the other stuff you've seen going on, your Radiant, your Chill Clip, your Cauterized Darkness, I would highly recommend building it into mobility so you get extra weapon damage. But that's the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.